Hello, and welcome to today's Saturday Sketcherbanders with me, Luna Winters Tarot. Now, I was just having a quick shuffle and an offer and ego, there we go, ego in reverse came out. And I've just dropped that, and that's really profound, because that's like, yeah, you need to drop the ego. This person, your Sketcherbander, they want to come back around and they want to make an offer. They want to sit over a coffee, a drink, a cup of tea, whatever it is, and just talk things through. It's like they want to chew the fat. They want to come around and say, look, I've really messed up. And they are coming back without ego. But the way they left, you saw a side of them that you didn't believe was possible. You were just like, wow. That's who you truly are. So for them to come in now egoless when they were just pure ego, pride, lust, greed fueled back when it was, it's going to be really difficult for you to just sit there over a drink with this person and believe a single word they're saying. But they already know this. They're already prepared for this. It's like they know that you know that they're talking shit. Or at least they feel that that's what you're going to be thinking. And 100% you will be, because this person was always a master wordsmith. They always had the words, but they never had the actions to back it up. And when they left you, they went straight into bad karma. But we already know this. We already know what went on. And I just don't really feel that we need to go back over it again and again. But they are in a very reflective phase right now. They're being forced through these planetary retrogrades that I spoke about yesterday. Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, and I believe Saturn are all retrograde. And Jupiter and Saturn specifically, they're all about karma and how you act and how you present yourself. And Jupiter is a very driven planet. And this person now is being spiritually driven to come back to you and to say, look, I messed up, I'm sorry. And it's all good and well saying sorry, but it's not going to change anything. And this is what they are becoming abundantly aware of. It's like they went too far. They did too much. And there are certain things in life that you really can't come back from. And the reason they're coming back now is because they're wanting to alleviate their own guilt, their own conscience, because they know they never gave you closure, but also they're going through what they put you through. They are watching the karmic person they chose over you do the same to them that they did to you. And this karmic person, these karmic people, they've moved on to bigger and better things. There's no place for your fallen counterpart in these karmic people's lives. They've moved, they've gone. And, see, look, moving on. Spiritual hater, happiness hater. This karmic people, they showed their true colors. They showed your person that their entire game was all about discrediting you, your spirituality, your happiness, your joy, your very innocent way with it that you approach life and love. It was very unconditional. This person, they were very fake, but they just wanted to dull your shine. They just put all of their energy and resources into convincing your fallen counterpart that you were not what you said you were. They put up this big display of going, oh no, that's not real, that's not genuine, nobody's truly that kind, nobody's truly that selfless, nobody truly loves unconditionally. And it got into your fallen counterpart's head and they fell for it hook, line and sinker. And in this lifetime, this was not meant to happen. And that's why their karma now is so dark. It's why it's so heavy. And it's why they feel that they need to rush forwards to you now without ego, without pride, and show you that self, that true, authentic self that they hid from you. Because there's almost a level of hope that you will grant them some kind of stay of execution, but too much time has passed. Perhaps if this person had come to you 2-3 years ago, even 18 months ago, and said, look, I really screwed up, you would have just gone, yeah, I know. And you perhaps could have just laid things to rest, and you could have had an amicable closure. I don't feel that you will ever come back into alignment with each other. It's like this was the last chance saloon for either of you to come back together. And that's why it was so critical that in this lifetime, they didn't screw up. Because, did you hear that woodpecker calling? I want you to look up woodpecker spirit animal meaning, because that's twice I've heard it called during this energy. Now, in the background, this person, they've been partying, they've been drinking, they've been overdoing it because they were running away from you, but they were also trying to outrun bad karma. But they're now trying to outrun this karmic who, as I said, is treating them exactly as this person treated you. You know, there's this real kind of, it's also surface level. There's no depth to it. It's also baseless. It's all words. But even though the karmic is playing this game of, oh, well, I don't need you anymore, all these karmic people, there's still this threat hanging over your fallen counterpart. And it's an energetic threat. And it's currently stopping them from moving forwards. It's as though these karmic friends, this person who destiny swapped and pretended to be you and tried to step into your shoes and tried to behave like you and prove to your person, oh, no, 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 look, I'm the real deal. They're the fake. Something very, very, very dark went on. And I can feel my throat chakra is closing now as I'm trying to talk about this. It's cultish. There's kind of like in the background here, there's an energy of a real dark circle. That's what I'm going to call it. A dark circle of people. And I think this goes back generations, and it's very, very dark energy. And just tuning into it makes me feel quite unwell. Your person, even though they're no longer wanted, they're under the threat of this umbrella, of this dark circle of, you can't go back there. Because if you go back there, this will happen. If you go back there, you will lose this. If you go back there, these consequences will unfold. You know, it's like, do you remember when, if you're my age, if you're Generation X, you'll remember how we used to receive chain mail back in the day. You know, you have to send this on to 100 people or you will die, or your pet rabbit will die. And this is the kind of energy. It's a kind of, if you go back there, or if you move on and you meet someone else, this is going to happen. It's like their entire capability to love and be loved and to have love and experience love was stripped away. And it's like there was a curse. It's almost like, you know, it's like Snow White eating that poisoned apple. They're under the threat of never being allowed to move on again. And this is out of their jurisdiction. This is kind of, this isn't under the umbrella of the Most High. This is darkness. True, true darkness. Yeah, see, look, there's something buried in the earth. You know, when people mess with these dark things, these things go and get buried as a, you know, the work is done, we'll bury this here. I'm being told, you're all going to be thinking, oh my God, she's gone completely off piste here. But hey, I'm almost being shown, and I'm saying almost being shown because it's not something I really want to be tuning into. And I keep rubbing my eyes because it's like, I just don't want to see it. But Your fallen counterpart, they know how spiritual you are. They know how powerful you are. And many of you do have gifts. And I do feel there's almost an element of them wanting to come back around, not just to bring closure, not just to bring an apology, but they want, and the crow just called, that's absolute divine clarification. They want you to use your gifts to help them find whatever it is that's buried, so that it can be unearthed and destroyed in order to set them free. And that's going to be very specific to just one person. That's not going to resonate for everyone. But it's like they know that you have those gifts, those skills, and that power. You have the power of sight, claircognizance, in order to go, yeah, I know exactly where it is. But in truth, you're not going to touch it. You may well decide to guide them there and say, yeah, you'll find it here. But you're just like, no, don't involve me. Don't involve me in this mess. Don't involve me with these people. In the past, you brought these people into our circle. You brought these people in. They destroyed what we had, and they destroyed me as a consequence. And I had to rebuild. I'm having nothing to do with this. Now, this fallen counterpart of yours, they're going to say, well, I'm having nothing to do with it either. These people are no longer a part of my life. But the thing is, because these attachments are there, because whatever it is that binds them, these people are always going to be there. And this is how they've been prevented from moving forwards. This is how they're being prevented from having future relationships and love. Because as soon as the energy, this dark energy, picks up on an energy of happiness or love in this person's life, it's like the coven arrives. The coven appears out of nowhere, and the coven again exacts the undoing of this person's happiness, of this person's life. And it stems from a very, very obsessive karmic person who moves behind the scenes. They're really dark. This is the kind of person who takes somebody's hair while they're sleeping, or they cut their fingernails, or they put their menstrual blood into somebody's food. You know, it's that kind of darkness. They have a one-way view into your fallen counterpart's dreams, into their head. It's like they have some kind of remote viewing that they do in this group. This group come together, this coven come together, and they can see into your fallen counterpart's mind, his or hers innermost thoughts, feelings, desires, and they block them there as well. It's like if they're thinking of someone else, this coven then puts the picture of this obsessive lover into your fallen counterpart's head, as if to go, no, you don't want them. You only want this person. This is the only person. This is the only person for you. And even though this inverted commas only person who is a karmic person, and they're an absolute blot on this person, your fallen counterpart's landscape, and they don't even want them right now. They're damned if anybody else is going to have them. But they're going through some kind of collapse because you're really, really powerful. And they've never come against a power stronger than their own. Now, remember, they have to be with a group of people in order to wield their power. You wield tenfold their power single-handedly. And the biggest power you hold right now is that, frankly, you don't give a damn. You have no interest in what goes on over there, what's been happening, what's been going on in your fallen counterpart's life, who they're with, where they're at. And without your energy feeding it, this power is becoming less. And I think your fallen counterpart has recognized this. They've seen this. They've seen, like, there's a hole that's appearing, and it's like they know they can escape through that hole, but they need to find this one thing that will ultimately free them. And it's like you are the key to freeing them, but you don't want to be involved, because it's almost like if you do get involved, and I covered my throat chakra there to protect my throat chakra, to protect this energy, you're just going to get dragged back in. And that's the second time I've been shown that energy of you being dragged back in. You just need to sit pretty. You just need to go, yep, lovely, nice to see you, I think. Nope, sorry, your mess is your own. Move on with your life. Because this person, even though they're coming forwards to you themselves, they're being watched. They're being followed. They're being stalked. Their every single move, that every time they blink, every time they breathe, it's like there's an audit. Yeah, see, look, moves in silence. It's just this obsessive lover. It's like, I don't know how this person, your fallen counterpart, I don't know how they ever got entrenched in this. Only they know. But this goes back over lifetimes. And this is why it's so hard to break. But in this lifetime, it did break. It did break when they met you. But this karmic person, they ran to this coven. They said, look, you've got to stop this because he's mine, mine, mine. She's mine, mine, mine. And I'm being told that this coven, these people, they knew that wasn't true. They knew that wasn't the case because they also have the sight. They also have the gift. And they knew they shouldn't have meddled. But they chose to anyway, because you know what? Money talks. And I'm going to leave it here, but your fallen counterpart, they want you back. They never wanted to let you go. It was all energy manipulation. It was all darkness. It was this dark, dark circle. It was like a dark web was cast and it pulled them back in. And like, what's his name? Him in Lord of the Rings, being wrapped up by Shelob. That's how it is. But they know that they can't come back. And they know that there's no point trying to come and issue platitudes and long lost, I still love you, I never forgot about you, because you're just never going to believe it. You're never going to listen to it. But they do want to sit down. They do want to speak to you, but there is a motive. I think there always was a motive with this person, and the motive has always been about you saving them. Because look, it's here again. And I'm going to leave it there. Have a truly blessed Saturday, one and all, and take good care. Sending big love.